Oh, one more thing. You know, if you got a house and you have crawl areas underneath your house, wherever they are, you might want to go check them out. I did a inspection. I put it on my videos. I don't know exactly where it is. It might be home rehab, condo rehab, you know, something. And underneath the house, I did a little inspection. I did a little inspection in this area too. And you can go down there and you can kind of see what all is going on. See what you can do to make it better. If you got wood down here, see here's some bits of wood that they left from years ago. The inspector didn't even make them pull this stuff out. Here's a little piece of a TJI, a small one. And see all that kind of stuff. When you buy a house, a home inspector, you're supposed to pay a home inspector who's licensed, and you pay him and he checks out underneath your house, he checks out inside your house, on top of your house, around your house, underneath your house, and he's supposed to give you a full report of what he finds so that you know what kind of shape the house is in case you need to make a counter offer to somebody and say, hey, you know, we did a home inspection, we found this, and we found this, and we found this. Based on that, we're willing to still purchase the house, but for X amount of dollars less. And you do that, and you also get a termite inspection. Termite inspection is separate from a homeowner's inspection, and the homeowner inspector should have caught this stuff. He should have caught missing insulation. He should have caught all kinds of stuff that he didn't even have on his list. And a termite inspector, he should have caught this. Anything underneath your house that's wood cannot be there. I sold a house one time, but because they saw little bits of wood underneath the house, even though I had just built the house and it was only maybe less than 2 years old, a termite inspector went under there, and because he saw little things of wood, he says, oh, okay, well, in order for me to sign off, I have to spray underneath the entire house. Yeah, really? Well, that's what he, and so, you know, I think it cost me an extra $850 or so to have him spray, because I had a few 2x4s under that. I could have spent 2 hours and got the stuff out, and I should have done that before the inspector came. But in any case, you can, just because those inspectors are supposed to catch those things, sometimes they don't catch it all. And so for you to see what sort of shape your house is in, you can go underneath your house and look around. And I know there's insulation missing. Well, this insulation should be there, right? Why should I have to purchase insulation, get the insulation over here and put it down, put it up and all that kind of stuff? This should be there. Had the inspector caught that, the homeowner's inspector, they would have had to, the seller would have had to have somebody come out here and go through underneath the house. There's all kinds of places underneath the house where there's missing insulation, where there's missing insulation around the air conditioning register or air conditioning wise, and there was a couple air conditioner duct pieces underneath another area of the house that was hanging down on the ground, and there was wood shavings, and there were some bolts that were loose and stuff. All that stuff should have been already done before we purchased the house. So I'm telling you, just because you purchase your house, you don't think, I don't have to go underneath the house. You know, go underneath the house anyways and look and see for yourself. See if the brackets that are holding up your plumbing sewer line is tied up properly. Make sure your duct straps are attached properly and none of them have fallen off. Look at your plumbing pipes. I looked at some plumbing pipes, and some of the plumbing pipes had insulation wrap around them, and some of them didn't. And let's see. Yeah, see that black pipe, this first black pipe? There's a copper pipe under there. And this is foam insulation stuff, you see? That's copper pipe all the way around there, and they've done that on the lines under here, but on another portion of the house, they didn't do it. And so, you know, stuff like that. Then you can decide yourself, do I want to spend the money and time and effort to do that myself? Do I want to get somebody else out here, or do I want to just leave it? You be in charge of that. You can check all that out. So you know, I'm kind of glad I'm under here so I can make this video, so I can tell you a few things. Okay, now I've got everything cleaned up. It's time for me to get out of here, take a little break, and decide how I want to tackle that ceiling fan down there. Whew. Okay, I got that all cleaned up, swept up and stuff, and now, okay, so now I'm pretty sure that all those joists going across have the metal gussets up there, 16-inch on center, and the ones in the bathroom, I could tell were going this direction. Okay, so when they come over here, chances are they're going to go this direction. Okay, it doesn't really matter actually which direction they go, because I should be able to fish through those gussets and stuff. Okay, and so if you remember at the first how I was going to do it, I've got to take this box out now, and because it's a round box, I've got to be very careful about that, because there's a plastic framework on the side of that gets nailed in to the joist. I'm going to have to cut that side out without goobering up the ceiling, because what I'm trying to do is not have to patch any drywall at all. If I have to patch it, then I have to prime it and paint it and all that kind of stuff and texture certain areas. I'm trying not to have to do that. Okay, I've got the power off. I've got a red, white, and black wire up there coming out of each Romex. So when I run the new Romex on there, I'm just going to use the black wire, all the blacks together, all the whites together, and the two reds are still going to go together, and that pigtail is still going to stay up there for the smoke alarm. And then I'll be tapping the power off of there, running it over to a new box, and that's my next step. I have to unravel those wires, take the wire nuts off and all that kind of stuff, push the wires out of the way. I mean, I could kind of cut the box now, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to kind of get things situated, kind of push the wires out of my way first, okay? And that little bracket up there, the adapter for the smoke alarm, I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to reuse that when I install the smoke alarm again. Okay, so that is my next step.